Hey guys, so during the latest Dwarven campaign walkthrough that CA released, there is a really cool look at the Dwarven Book of Grudges in action. So basically the little demo that they showed is that there is Grimgor Ironhide who comes here, pops up from the underway stance, and just basically comes in, and they're showing off how badass he is with all his terrifying mask of E and all that stuff, and basically showing how he's going to come in here and clobber this Dwarven stronghold. So they do an auto-resolve, and it's a decisive defeat. So immediately what happens on the campaign is once it goes to your turn, it's a dynamic Book of Grudges. So you'll see here, once the turn comes back to the dwarves here, it tells you, look, you've lost your Thane, and all of a sudden a new grudge has been dynamically issued. This is directly a result of losing your stronghold. So you can go down to the bottom right, and this is where you can literally start looking at the Book of Grudges, and you'll see some of them have been crossed out, and this is going to be a dynamically growing mission or series of missions. It's really cool. You'll see they range from a different variety of objectives. Most of them seem to be to capture and occupy settlements, but some of them ask you to defeat armies or to maintain at least 10 public order in the following provinces. The rewards will range typically from increases in treasury, but in in a little bit we'll be also seeing some of them give you additional buffs, like temporary bonuses to your units in terms of morale or attack or things like that. So they have not stated how many pages you can fill up for the Book of Grudges, although I assume if you keep losing provinces, it will continue to issue a grudge. A lot of these don't seem to be directly tied with the province. Some of them, as you'll see on the top left and the bottom left, just kind of seem to happen because a raid took place. For those, it doesn't even note what the objective is, so I'm a little confused what's going on there. So we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like they were wiped out, so perhaps the army was wiped out, and the objective that was listed there can no longer be generated because that army no longer exists. But yeah, CA here is basically just talking about these various different grudges, and I'm going to pause this just so we can go back and rewind and talk a little bit about what happened at the top. So carrying out these different grudges can give you the ability to complete these grudges, so you can fill out pages. Again, I'm a little worried about filling out a book that is going to be hundreds of pages, although maybe sifting through these and seeing all the grudges you've righted can be a cool mechanic. I'm a little worried about these getting a bit too repetition in terms of all of these asking you to capture and occupy the following settlement. Although the one on the top right does say to crush an uprising rebellion amongst the dwarves. Now, some of the rewards, for instance, the one on the bottom left gives you Greenskin Conflict. It has basically 3 turns remaining, and what it does is it gives you plus 16 leadership versus the Greenskins, which is huge. That'll dramatically increase your morale. So those are cool, unique little not penalties, but improvements that you can get through there. Now, depending on how many grudges you have or have not fulfilled, you get a different kind of grudge level. So at low levels, you get plus 5 diplomatic relations and increase to public order. If you have average grudges, that starts to reverse itself. And then on high grudges, the dwarves on the other side are not going to want to deal with you. Your leadership overall drops and public order drops by 2. So this is kind of a cool mechanic to keep you chugging along as the dwarfs. I found it rather interesting because the dwarfs are going to be otherwise kind of, buried away up in the mountains, not doing very much. So having a Book of Grudges will keep you kind of on your toes. It will reward you for taking action, and I think it'll kind of prod players to go and reclaim a hold that's perhaps across the world. And maybe even they'll ask you to have more interesting campaigns that send you further afield into the, maybe even there's a grudge that asks you to go help the Empire in a campaign. Just imagine what the grudges will be when Chaos appears and starts storming around. Maybe you have to go kill a Chaos champion for the wrongs that he has done. So there's a lot of flexibility that they can add to that, and I really hope it's something that they will patch, be able to patch in future iterations. Anyways, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed.